All right, let's talk about one of the most important and honestly most underrated organs in your entire body, the pancreas. It's basically the master manager of your body's energy, working away behind the scenes every single second to keep you fueled up and functioning. You know that feeling, right? That classic post-lunch slump where you just want to take a nap. Well, that feeling is directly tied to this amazing biological process we're about to get into. It's all about how your body handles sugar, and the pancreas, well, it's the absolute star of the show. So here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we'll get to know the pancreas itself, our body's sugar regulator. Then, we're going to take a tour of the hormone factory inside it. We'll spend some real time on its most famous product, insulin, which is like a master key for ourselves. And then, we'll look at what happens when this whole system breaks down, which leads us to diabetes. Okay, first things first, let's get properly introduced to our main character, the pancreas. So there it is. It's kind of tucked away, hiding behind the stomach, but don't let its location fool you. This organ is a powerhouse. It has two huge jobs. One is helping with digestion, but what we're really going to focus on today is its other critical job, producing the hormones that control your blood sugar. So if you look inside the pancreas, you'll see it's basically made of two different kinds of tissues doing two very different jobs. You've got the acinar tissue, which handles the digestive side of things, but then you have these incredible little clusters of cells called the islets of Langerhans. This is where the magic happens. This is the part that secretes hormones straight into your bloodstream. Okay, so let's zoom in and take a tour of that hormone factory. We're gonna meet the workers and see what they're making. This image gives us a fantastic view of the factory floor. Each one of those islets of Langerhans is just packed with different types of cells, and every single one has a very specific job to do. You can see them all clustered together, the alpha cells, the beta cells, the delta cells, all working together in perfect harmony. And this table really breaks it all down for us. It's like the factory's production line. Alpha cells pump out glucagon, which, and this is key, raises your blood sugar. Then you have the beta cells making insulin, which does the exact opposite. It lowers your blood sugar. And then you have other cells like delta and PP cells that kind of act like managers, regulating the whole operation. So, this is the most important relationship to understand, the one between glucagon and insulin. Think of it like a biological seesaw. After you eat and your blood sugar is high, insulin jumps on one side to bring it down. If you haven't eaten in a while and your blood sugar gets low, glucagon jumps on the other side to push it back up. It is a constant, incredibly precise balancing act happening in your body right now. Now, let's zoom in even closer on the most famous hormone of them all, insulin. Its job is absolutely crucial because it's literally the key to powering almost every single cell in your body. So, how does it work? Well, think of it like this. Glucose, or sugar, is the fuel. Your cells are like tiny locked engines. And insulin is the key. You can see it right here in this diagram. Insulin floats up to a cell and binds to a receptor on the surface. That sends a signal inside the cell that basically says, open the door. And a special transporter opens up, letting all that glucose fuel rush in so the cell can get to work. Now, in your muscles, insulin is a real multitasker. It doesn't just unlock the door for glucose. It also tells the muscle, hey, store some of this for later. That stored glucose is called glycogen. And on top of all that, it helps with muscle growth by promoting protein synthesis. So it's not just a fuel manager, it's kind of like a construction foreman too. Your liver is like the body's central fuel depot, and insulin is the manager in charge. It tells the liver to pull glucose out of the blood and store it. Just as importantly, it tells the liver not to release that stored sugar when levels are already high. And if there's way too much glucose floating around after a big meal, insulin gives the order to convert that excess into fatty acids for long-term storage. So we've seen just how elegant and precise this whole system is, but what happens when it breaks? Well, that brings us to a condition that many of us have heard of, diabetes mellitus. At its very core, this is what diabetes is all about. It's a fundamental breakdown in your body's ability to use its fuel, carbs, fats, and proteins. And the root cause always comes down to one of two things. Either your body isn't making enough insulin, or your cells have stopped listening to the insulin you do make. When the system breaks, your body starts sending out some pretty clear distress signals. You might hear them called the 3 Ps. First, polyuria. There's so much extra sugar in the blood that the kidneys go into overdrive trying to flush it out, which means you're urinating a lot. All that urination leads to dehydration, which causes polydipsia, or extreme thirst. And here's the crazy part. Even with all that sugar fuel in the blood, the cells can't access it. So they send out hunger signals, leading to polyphagia, extreme hunger. The body is literally starving in the middle of a feast.
Now, this is so important to understand. Diabetes isn't just one thing. For the most part, it's two very different stories that just happen to have a similar outcome.
Let's go back to our factory analogy. Type 1 diabetes is a production problem. The factory's beta cells, the ones that make insulin, have been damaged or destroyed, so they just can't make enough. But with type 2 diabetes, the factory is actually working fine. Sometimes it's even working overtime. The issue is a reception problem. The body cells have become resistant, so the insulin key doesn't fit in the lock anymore.
And this chart really puts things into perspective. You can see that type 2 diabetes, the one caused by insulin sensitivity, accounts for the vast majority of cases. We're talking more than 90%. So why is high blood sugar such a big deal? Well, over the long term, it is incredibly damaging. It causes chronic dehydration and can lead to serious tissue injury, damaging everything from your heart and kidneys to your nerves. Your body gets so desperate for fuel that it starts burning fats like crazy, which can lead to a dangerous state called metabolic acidosis. It even starts breaking down its own proteins, which causes weight loss and a total lack of energy. And here's a really fascinating, though pretty scary little detail. When the body is burning all that fat for fuel, one of the byproducts it creates is acetone. Yep, the same chemical that's in nail polish remover. In severe, uncontrolled diabetes, you can actually smell this fruity chemical scent on a person's breath. It's a major warning sign.
So when you step back and look at it, this whole system is just incredible. Our bodies are performing this delicate, life-sustaining balancing act every single second of every day. And it really leaves you with a powerful question to think about. What choices are we making to help keep this amazing system running smoothly?